So we have packaged together a beautiful expedition with PONANT and National Geographic, where we discover the islands and cultures of Melanesia. As you can see on your screen now, it's an amazing 21-night expedition that begins with a flight from Brisbane to Honiara before boarding Le Soleil. And Le Soleil is a luxury expedition vessel, and she carries around 220 guests for this particular departure. Sandrine, our expedition leader, as I mentioned before, will actually highlight each of the pure and pristine locations that your clients will enjoy with PONANT. Choosing an expedition with PONANT means choosing to be truly connected to the natural environment and also learning the wonderful cultures of this unique region. We are delighted that we have an exclusive Helloworld travel offer in conjunction with PONANT and National Geographic. As you can see on your screens here, the exclusive offer is amazing pricing that you are able to offer to your clients. It's incredible value for this all-inclusive luxury expedition. But please be quick, as there is limited availability at these prices. Your clients can choose from a window room, a superior stateroom, or if they prefer to have the balcony staterooms, these are available on deck 3 and deck 4. Please take advantage of these prices as quickly as you can because they will sell out. But for now, let's listen to Sandrine and hear about this beautiful destination.
Thanks, Jules, and hello everyone. I can't see you, but you can hopefully see my screen there. I'm so pleased that Julie has asked me to speak with you today because I get to share how wonderful these voyages are, and if you have any questions at the end, please don't hesitate to ask. So, as Julie mentioned, I'm the Expedition Operations Manager for PONANT Asia Pacific, which involves itinerary planning and staffing and recruiting the expedition team. But by far, my favourite part of the job is being an expedition leader on board. That's when we get to have so much fun. Now, we've all had a bit of a tough year, and last year as well, but 2022 is going to be our year. So we've got some fantastic destinations and exciting new itineraries. And as we start to travel, we're staying close to home. So we've got lots of options, and today we're focusing on Melanesia, but we do have other destinations, and also our homegrown talented expedition teams both in Australia and New Zealand. So just a little bit of put this into perspective for you, Melanesia. So we'll be starting in the Solomon Islands. And Melanesia, as you can see, covers a fair bit of an area. So we'll be working down from the Solomon Islands through to Vanuatu, New Caledonia, and down into New Zealand. So what is it with a tropical expedition in Melanesia? Well, basically it's a tropical paradise, whether it be the beautiful beaches that we go to. Our guests love just having some downtime, relaxing on the beach. Nothing quite like a beach bar. It's all really very relaxing. Those who want to go snorkeling, we also actually include diving on this expedition, which is really exciting. So certified divers can go diving with our dive instructor. Those who don't want to go diving, there's all the snorkeling gears on board. People don't have to bring any bulky gear with them, and the expedition team are there to assist with anything. It's not uncommon for us to actually take the guests by the hand and take them snorkeling if that's what they want to do. And of course, at the heart of PONANT is the expedition and the exploration. So at any opportunity that we can take to go exploring, we certainly do that. The thing with Melanesia that I love is the unique encounters that we have with the local people. We so many times we have spontaneously met new people, because obviously on expedition things change and things move around and we have to be flexible, and it's in these moments that we actually have these really unique encounters with the local people. and the cultural connections that comes with that. So it's important to understand in Melanesia, whenever we arrive somewhere at a new destination, a new village or a new island, upon arrival, there is always a very important welcome. And until we have done the welcome and the welcome performances and the dances, we don't go anywhere, we don't visit anything. Once those exchanges have been made, often it does include exchanging of gifts, then basically we're part of the family is sort of how it works. So what I'd like to do with you now is go through most of the ports of call that we have on this gorgeous voyage. So starting the Solomon Islands, after Honiara, we go to Santa Ana Island. And so the way that it works with these cruises, as I mentioned, is the first thing we do is have the welcome. And Santa Ana's welcome is certainly very loud and very boisterous and very energetic. The mudmen of Santa Ana are world famous, and what's really lovely is the history and the culture and the stories that are passed down through these dances. And at every single one of the destinations, they're different, they're unique, and that's a beautiful thing to witness. So this is an example of the dancers. You've got the very dark skinned and the lighter skinned representing the Melanesian and the Polynesian and the conflict between the people. So all of this is expressed in the dance. Following this, we're welcome. The guests are welcome to wander around the village, and the local schools are always a very popular place to go and visit. We do offer a hike to go and visit the school. It's a bit of a walk, so the guests who are wanting to stretch their legs are welcome to join us on that, or they can simply have a swim at the beach, basically. So it's up to them what they wish to do. Next destination is Vanikoro, and this little island has a significant meaning for us as a French company, because of course it's where the French explorer La Pérouse, which one of our ships is obviously named after, unfortunately came to grief, and so the La Boussole and l'Astrolabe met their end on this very reef, and we actually went for a snorkel and found the wrecks actually, which is really quite exciting. So naturally, our ship stays at anchor at a very safe distance, and then we zodiac the guests in. Now, Vanikoro is one of the most isolated islands in the Solomon Islands. They have very few visitors. And they're always very excited when we arrive. The people are naturally very shy, and it does take a little while, basically a lot of smiling, to make a connection, because they don't speak English or French. So it's amazing though how much interaction, how much communication is possible just with a smile. Once again, performances are a very important part of our welcome to the island, our welcome to the village, and once again, very unique in the performances. And then a visit around the village. It's very common for the locals to have little workshops that we can participate in. We can, the guests are welcome to join the ladies in the weaving, which is obviously a very important part of their culture in this part of the world, and also learn how to make a dugout canoe. Obviously, can't complete a whole canoe, but these demonstrations are a really beautiful way to learn more about the culture of the people, and they're always very generous in sharing that with us. Next one along is Uraparapara. Now, I love this little island. We actually came across this island back in 2016, and it was quite interesting because it's an island at the middle. It's an extinct volcano, and the caldera has filled up with water from the ocean. So it's like this big bay in the middle with a very narrow entrance. And we were actually on Le Soleil, and the captain and the expedition leader, who was Mick Fogg, as you probably all know Mick, we were on board and they went, oh, let's just go and have a look. So we went in and basically the captain did a full 360 with the ship, which was just spectacular. And so we're just standing out there on the deck and someone said, oh, there's people on the beach. We didn't actually realise that the island was inhabited. So there's people on the beach. So of course, Mick and a couple of other people who speak the local language went over and said hello and made some connections. And from then on, every year we go back to Uraparapara. So it's become part of our itinerary through this beautiful, spontaneous connection that we made. And they always make us feel so welcome when we go there. It's a really authentic, traditional village, and it's just gorgeous. So once again, the dancers, I love the performances on Uraparapara. They are just so spectacular. It's basically we go out to this field, this flat area of grass, and the gentlemen just come out of the forest and in all their costumes. And the most striking dance for me is this one, the animal dance, where they're wearing these really intricate and amazing headdresses which represent the animals in their life, so the marine life and the life on land as well. So it's pretty spectacular. And then, of course, we're then free to wander around the village. And so there's the local church, there's the local school. The kids are just adorable, and everyone's always so happy to share. There's different workshops. You can the last time we had a kava tasting, which was interesting, and it's all part of the atmosphere of the island. So what I love about visiting these places is each year we can see the progression and we can see the changes and we see the kids growing, and it's a really beautiful thing to experience. Next in Vanuatu is Espirito Santo, and you're probably very familiar with the women's water music. Now, this is an absolutely amazing experience to have. It's just gorgeous. The ladies, the little children. I have tried it. They invited me to participate, and I can tell you it is not easy. I've got a little clip here, and I hope it'll work. Just wanted to show you, give you a little feeling of it. Isn't that just gorgeous? Oh, I love it. Love it. So, so we have the ladies that come to do the performance, and we also offer a zodiac cruise, because this part of Vanuatu has is a geologically, it's limestone. So when the water is very clear, it's just this gorgeous turquoise blue color, and so we take the guests for a cruise up the river up to a blue hole, and it's a really beautiful, serene. There's just surrounded by the rainforest, the birds, and this beautiful crystal clear blue water. So it's pretty spectacular. Moving on to Ombrim. Ombrim such a unique island, and that's what I love about Melanesia is every single destination is so unique and so different, and the people so unique. Ombrym is known for obviously for its volcanism, and also for its black magic, and the locals are always very keen to share their passion for this. They're very superstitious people, and they continue to live a very traditional life. And so the tribe is actually called the Small Numbers, and we're treated to a number of performances which involve both the elders as well as the younger men in the tribe. And the ladies, they tend to be sort of more around the outside and have their own performances. Ombrym is known for the Rom dance, and this dance can traditionally go for several days. Obviously, we don't stay there for 3 days. We're treated to a performance that goes for about an hour or so, and you can see these spectacular costumes that the men are wearing. They're made out of banana leaves, and as you can imagine, it is actually really quite hot when we're there. It is the tropics, and the way that these men, they dance, and they basically get into a trance, and it's just, and you end up being in a trance yourself watching it. It's just incredible. After the performance, once again, we can visit the local school, the village. The village in Ombrym is actually quite big, and it's really not unusual for you turn up in the village and you're sort of walking around, and someone will take you by the hand and take you into their house. That's really, it happens all the time because they're so proud to showcase their little village, and so they'll take you into their home and show you where they live and how they live, and that's really beautiful. Ombrym's also known for carvings, so there's always an opportunity to do a spot of shopping, and the souvenirs that you're bringing home are unique, and they are crafted by the people right there. And it's really important, what I always say to our guests is you are supporting the local people by buying directly from them. You are supporting them and their families. So there's no middleman. It's not a shop. You're buying from the individual, and that's a really great way to support the communities. Next stop is Malekula, and this is we go to the little village of Melip, and which is, as you can see, they put in so much effort to welcome us. This is what we had last voyage. You can see the flowers, and they decorate the village with flowers as well. They wrap flowers around the trees, and everything's swept, and you can see that they take such pride in welcoming us into their village. So the dances in Malekula, once again, really unique. Here we get to see the two different dances. So the men and the women actually not only do separate dances, but they actually are performed in different locations. So once again, just that culture and experiencing that culture, and it's obviously very important to respect that. So basically all of us, we watch one performance with a gentleman, and then we all get up and we move to the next destination, to the next spot to watch the women. And once again, the costumes are just amazing, and the tam-tams that they use here, which are a type of drum. You can see in the background there a gentleman sitting down, and these dances are really exciting. They're very loud, they're very boisterous, and are really spectacular. And then following the village visit in the afternoon, what we do is we go around to Caroline Bay. And once again, this is another example of these beautiful random encounters that we make, because what happened a couple of years ago, we had to relocate. We couldn't go to a particular spot we were going to go to because there'd been the death of an elder in the village. And we have our local agent on board with us, and he negotiated to go somewhere else. So we had never been to Caroline Bay before, and we just turned up. They didn't know we were coming, so I got in a Zodiac with a few of my team and turned up and basically knocked at their door and went, "Hi, I'm Sandra and we're from PONANT. Would you mind terribly if we borrowed your beach for a couple of hours?" And they were just like, "Oh, absolutely." They speak French here, very close connection with the French, because After a cyclone a few years beforehand, the French Navy actually came and rebuilt their school. So so in Caroline Bay, they speak French and they love, and they see our ship arrive, and we are made more than welcome. So beautiful beach, crystal clear water. We take the guests can go swimming, or they can go snorkeling, or they can go and visit the village, wander around. Generally, the ladies will put on a bit of a fruit buffet for us to have a snack. And then there's the kids. So this was what my Zodiac looked like as we were there on the beach. It was just adorable. The kids are so friendly, and they just want to come and hang out with you. And I did take the key out of the engine though, and they're bouncing around on the Zodiac, having a fantastic time. And that's what I love about our interactions with the local people. It goes both ways, and that's how it's a really genuine connection. Moving on to Tanna. Now Tanna, again, obviously volcanic. We're there for the volcano. This beautiful, it's just this black sand. So this contrast from the white sand of Caroline Bay to the black sand of Tanna. There's a huge open area, and this is where the performances are. The whole village gets involved. Everyone's so excited. The kids are in there, and the guests are invited to come in and participate, and everyone's dancing together. It's crazy. It's so much fun. And then we all pile into vehicles. And this is true expedition because then it's time to go up to Mount Yasur to see this amazing volcano. So we go from the ocean through this beautiful tropical jungle into what looks like a moonscape. So for about half an hour, we're just driving through this black ash, and by the time we get back, everyone needs a really good shower, but it's so worth it. We get to the base of the volcano, so you can see the cars are parked there, and then there's this great track which is laid out, and we take the guests up. There's a bit of a welcoming committee there for us with a singing to welcome us to the volcano, and we climb up to the crater. I've been there several times, and volcanoes are these amazing things. They have such a personality of their own, and you just don't know how they're going to be behaving. One time we were there, and basically there was just rumbling and smoke, as you can see here. So there's just the smoke. It's a double crater, and obviously we can't go too close. There is a limit, and obviously the expedition team are all there to assist the guests and make sure everyone stays in the right spot. And then other times, then it's just these spectacular lava bombs that are flying, and it is absolutely amazing. This is one of the most accessible volcanoes in the world, and certainly in Vanuatu, and it is a real highlight to this voyage. So now we're leaving Vanuatu and we're heading to New Caledonia. Once again, for me, New Caledonia, it's about the colour of the islands, whether it be the people, the water, the islands themselves. It's a gorgeous destination. And the people are so welcoming. They're so proud of their culture. So the Kanak culture in New Caledonia is very, very strong. So obviously, big French influence, and we're certainly made to feel very, very welcome as a French company. But the Kanak culture is very, very much alive, and the traditional exchanging of gifts and what's called the coutume is a very important part of, again, every single visit that we make to every place we go belongs to someone. So it's if there are inhabitants, there are chiefs and there are elders, and we pay our respects through the mutual exchanging of gifts. So one of the destinations that we go to in New Caledonia is this. Well, I guess it is a deserted island. There's no one that lives there other than the birds. So we arrive there. You can see our umbrellas all along the beach there, and so this is this is a gorgeous little spot. People can just do whatever they want. They can wander along the beach. You can see in the photo there, you can walk all the way around the island. We set up the parasols. People can go swimming, or you can go snorkeling, you can go bird watching. It is a really important bird sanctuary. And so there's lots of things to see. The snorkeling is fantastic. I love the snorkeling in Kauai. So people can either snorkel from the beach, or we can snorkel from the zodiacs. It just depends on what the tides and what the currents are doing, and basically what we decide to do on the day. This is a photo I took a couple of years back, and this is the reef literally just off the beach. So snorkeled out, and yes, that is a little shark. Gorgeous little white tip reef sharks around Kauai, which always makes the snorkel a little bit exciting. And I'm particularly fond of sharks, so I love that photo. Next destination is Mare. Now, we went to Mare the first time, would have been 2 years ago now, or almost 2 years, last season, and it was the first time that the island has had a cruise ship go there in over 10 years. So you can imagine just how excited the locals were. Everyone turned up. It was like a festival. The locals were all dressed up in these beautiful, colourful traditional wear, and lots of dancing. There was some workshops where we learned to weave and make the traditional bunya, which is, yes, that is a flying fox there on some taro, and all wrapped up in banana leaves. And so it's certainly a very inclusive and eye-opening welcome to the Kanak culture on Mare. We also we have a few things to do while we're there, so we can go on some walks. This cave is just gorgeous. So it's a very, very easily accessible cave, and people can even go for a swim if they'd like. So it's just these beautiful stalactites and the crystal clear water. There's also some walks that people can do. So there's a more energetic walk that goes around the cliffs, and for those who are possibly, perhaps not feeling up to do such an energetic walk, they are welcome to have a walk around the village. So once again, we try to cater for all abilities and all interests while we're there. Next stop is Lifu. Now, Lifu is very well known. It's a gorgeous little township, and so much to do. I love it when we go to Lifu. There's a walk to the church there. You can see La Perouse in the background there, and you can walk around the cliffs all the way up to the church. It's a gorgeous view from the top there. So once again, that colour and that culture and that tradition that the locals share with us, which is fantastic. So we get to visit some of the chieftains' houses. Well, they don't actually live here, but you can see these are ceremonial huts, and we go in, and so we're welcome there, and we hear the stories from the locals, which is always really insightful. Again, some demonstrations and workshops and tastings of things such as the bunya, and as well as other various excursions to the vanilla plantation and to the local church. So there's always plenty to do in Lifu, or people can just sit on the beach if they wish to sit on the beach and just relax. And the snorkeling. Lifu is renowned for its amazing underwater world, and there's this delightful little bay called Geographic Bay, which is 10-minute walk from the pier where we are, and you can see, you walk down, there's no beach, but there's stairs to go into the water, and as soon as you step into the water and pop your face down, this is what you see. So that's actually a photo from Geographic Bay that I took a little while back. So it's absolutely gorgeous. There's a little there's actually a map that shows the guests where to go, and this is the Bommy, and here there's some clownfish, and it's so well organised. It's fantastic. So and of course, naturally, the expedition team are there to supervise. We always have our safety zodiacs, so our guests are always surrounded by the expedition team who are there to support them at all times. Now, this is a new destination. We went there the first time a couple of years ago now, the last time we were there. This is Yengen, and in French it's called La Poule Couveuse, and because it looks like a chicken. So I'm not sure if you can see that it looks like a chicken, but it's very famous in New Caledonia. And so we do a couple of different activities here. We go up for a zodiac cruise. Of course, there's a welcome. There's a little market there as well. So it's a lovely destination. So we do that in the morning, and then in the afternoon we go to the little island just opposite Yengen, which is called Yenga. And here is basically it's beach afternoon, and we love doing this in Melanesia when we have a really busy morning with activities and performances and village visits, and then in the afternoon we just have a nice quiet beach afternoon, and guests really do enjoy a little bit of downtime. So now we're leaving Melanesia, and then we set sail and we head south, and we arrive at beautiful Norfolk Island. So Norfolk Island, as you know, is steeped in history, and we've been to Norfolk Island 3 times now. PONANT has, and unfortunately, it can be a bit tricky to have a landing on Norfolk, which is why our expedition ships are the ideal way to visit this island, because we have the Zodiac. So tenders might not be able to get in, but the Zodiacs can get in because obviously they're very manoeuvrable. So a landing on Norfolk Island, and what we do here is we offer our guests a full day of activities, which I'm actually in the process of planning with them at the moment. And there's a beautiful hike. So there's a hike, and we go around the different headlands. It's a very easy hike, mostly flat, so pretty much all of our guests were able to do it. We see the local wildlife, such as this, a Norfolk parakeet, and a variety of birds, such as this tropic bird. So it's a really, really lovely walk through the forest. And then also the cultural side, because obviously the history of Norfolk Island is so fascinating. So we do a guided tour with the local guides who are so knowledgeable. And we go through the ruins and learn all about that, as well as the cemetery. I find cemetery so fascinating. Obviously, the cemetery on Norfolk has so many stories to reveal to us. So our stop in Norfolk Island, what we also do there are organised to have a shuttle bus. So the guests who might not want to participate in the activity, and remembering that as it's an expedition voyage, everything is included, whether they choose to do it or not. There's no extra payments for anything. And we also have a shuttle bus. So if the guests just feel like going into Kingston and having a cup of coffee and doing some shopping, well, we have a shuttle bus which is available for them to use at their leisure. Then we leave Norfolk and we make our way to beautiful New Zealand. So hello to our New Zealand folks out there. And we go to Waitangi, and here we have some gorgeous cultural performances again, and it's a really lovely way to finish this expedition. And I always find Waitangi to be so delightful. The history, the culture. We can just wander around and visit the sites, and then meander back. And because the shuttles are there, so guests can just meander back at their leisure and head back to the ship when they're ready. And then of course we finish in gorgeous Auckland. So that is our expedition.